Still a very...
When you're this big, you can do things others can't, like average a home bought or sold by our customers every minute, every day. No wonder, in a nationwide survey, homeowners chose Century 21 as the leader in real estate by 6-1 over the nearest competitor. Call number 1, Century 21.
Call 1-800-4HOUSES for a Century 21 office near you.
I have looked into the eyes of temptation, and his name is Tony.
Brave adults confront their uncontrollable desire for Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
I'm just looking for someone who understands my needs. Love, acceptance, frosting.
One bite of that sweet crunch will prove that nothing can't be overcome with a spoon.
My hands shake. I start to sweat. What do they seal those bags with anyway?
Frosted Flakes have the taste adults have grown to love. They're great!
Ahead on Weather Scope, the Northeast may find relief from today's heavy winds. Stay tuned for live updates coming up on Weather Scope after your local forecast.
This is your local forecast. Weather information you can plan on, only on the Weather Channel. Weather Scope.
Strong winds in the Northeast with heavy snow in parts of New England have made life dangerous and difficult today for residents. Good evening, I'm Jill Brown. The bad weather is the result of the same system that caused deadly severe weather in the south and aggravated flooding in states from Tennessee to Ohio. Today's strong winds have also been deadly. 4 school children were reportedly killed this morning in Queens, New York, when strong winds blew a tree on top of their bus. 6 others were injured. Reports of winds up to 70 miles an hour have been reported in the area today. The winds will diminish some tonight. The system creating all the wind in the Northeast today brought quite a bit of rain yesterday to areas in the South and Midwest. The rains have cleared and many places are getting a chance to dry out, but it was a strange scene today in Cincinnati, Ohio. Floodwaters are not rising, but they're receding very slowly. Many people are still in shelters after their homes were flooded out, and you can expect more rain this weekend. We will get to that forecast in a moment. Let me show you what's going on here, and we'll start you off in the Northeast. Our storm history shows the snow that we've had. You know, this hasn't been a big banner year for snow, so you snow lovers, this is where you need to go this weekend. Not tonight, probably not even tomorrow, but if you head out late tomorrow afternoon, conditions should be a whole lot better. In the meantime, blizzard warnings are in effect, and all the snow, more than a foot, where you see the bright white on the map, will be blowing around quite a bit. Wind chills will be below 0 tonight. We've had numerous reports of trees and power lines down, so it is very dangerous. Actually, through southern New England, trees and power lines down, and then you add in the snow and ice across northern New England. Here's where that area of low pressure is right now. It is exiting off to the northeast. The snow is still heavy in Maine, although from the latest radar reports, it looks like it's beginning to wind down already. So we should see some improvements overnight tonight, and Friday should be a snap compared to today. However, it'll still be blustery and probably snowy in the morning. By the way, winter storm warnings for lake effect snow are in effect in New York State, Pennsylvania. Snow advisories here east of Cleveland is where you'll see some of the heavier snow. Our satellite picture will show that the bright blue clouds are the highest tops. That's where the majority of the heavier snow will be. And then the clouds start to thin a little bit. And actually, they had some sun today down around Washington, D.C. You still had to deal with the wind. It wasn't the kind that would do damage, but blustery conditions were found all the way down into the Carolinas. And by the way, those north to northwest winds will be bringing in cooler temperatures for tonight. We'll talk about that in a moment. We still have storm warnings in effect along the coastline. Winds expected to be 50, 55 miles per hour. Or higher. Our latest radar, again, if I move over here, you can see we had a lot of the dark green that you see right here covering Maine earlier. That appears to be diminishing quite a bit, so the snow may be winding down already. Until the winds really die down, though, traveling is still likely to be very bad tonight. Back through the Syracuse area, snow bands coming off Lake Erie. It looks like the New York Thruway is going to be tough going, especially as you get over around the Buffalo area. Lake Erie partially frozen over, but not completely, so we're still dealing with some lake effect snow. Into New York City, you can see a little bit showing up on the radar. I haven't seen too many reports of really anything going on out here, but temperatures are above freezing by several degrees, so what you may end up with here would be sprinkles of rain rather than snow. But either or, it's going to be very light, so that's not your problem tonight. It's still the wind, which should be diminishing gradually this evening. So there you go, 41 right now in New York City, 47 Washington, D.C. Not really terribly cold here anywhere until you factor the winds in, and wind chills right now are in the single digits with the exception of Caribou, 15 below, and you've had heavy snow through much of the afternoon. Slow improvements. Actually, it's colder back here in the plains. This is where the heart of the cold air is coming straight down out of Canada. It's 16 in Minneapolis. Do you think that sounds bad? Factor in the winds, 10 below in Duluth and 12 below in International Falls. The winds here aren't nearly as strong as they are in the northeast, but temperatures are colder, so it's going to feel worse out here for tonight. Not a good night to be out of the town. Chicago, your wind chill is 5 degrees at this point. And you can see here the snow ends in Michigan, and then Wisconsin back through Minnesota. Quiet, just a little chilly out there. We had some pretty nice weather today in the southeast. Our front is just